Hello and welcome back to our study of Peninei Halacha, the teachings of Rabbi Eliezer Melamed, Shlita. Moving along in our week of learning, and again we are learning for the merit of our brave soldiers of the IDF fighting for our homeland, for Refuah Shalema for those who need in Israel, and for the safe return of all of our hostages. The next chapter, Machlokas bein bnei zug. So yesterday we spoke of when one has a difference of opinion with one's parents regarding living in Israel or settling in Israel. What about a disagreement between married couples? When there is a disagreement amongst a couple where they should live, generally speaking, one side cannot compel the other to uproot from one's place, mishum shekol akir lamakom zar yotzeres kashiyim, because any time you uproot from what you know to go to a strange place or a place that is unknown, of course will create all sorts of difficulties. V'lachein yachal harotzel yishaer liton shebebechinaso makom hamagurim hamukar adif. Therefore, the one who wants to stay put and doesn't want to move can easily claim that from his or her point of view, the recognizable or the place that we know is certainly better. And therefore the other party, the other spouse, cannot impress or force upon someone to say, listen, I'm going to worsen your life conditions. But if let's say they're living in a place where its majority is non-Jews, you can compel the spouse to say, listen, we want to live in a more Jewish neighborhood, a place that has more Jews in it, for a variety of reasons. This is actually brought down in the Shulchan Aruch and Even HaEzer Siman Ayin Hey. Ulam, kol ze amor kasher omdim ala perek shnei makamos b'chutz la'aretz or shnei makamos ba'aretz. This, however, is regarding, let's say, going from one place to another within Chutz La'aretz, within the diaspora, or from one place to another within Israel. Aval, keshetzad echad meunyan la'alos la'aretz hadin ito. But if one party wants to leave the diaspora and move to Israel, well, then that party has the upper hand, or the law is with him. Ve'ein ze mishuneh im midubar be'isha b'isha. It makes no difference whether we're talking about a man or a woman. B'chol mikra al pi halacha misarev tzorech levatelas da'ato la'alos la'aretz. According to the halachic opinion, the one who is resistant has to give up one's position and move to Israel. And even if they live in the diaspora in a very, very Jewish neighborhood, and the place where they're going to in Israel is not a majority of Jews, imagine that. So strong is the mitzvah of settling the land of Israel that it takes precedence. And even with this decisive halachic opinion in front of us, the one that wants to stay in diaspora refuses to compromise, refuses to make aliyah, and it comes to such a point where it may reach divorce. Since the divorce is on the shoulders, or really it's because of the person that's refusing to make aliyah, Chacham even said that person, even when you get divorced, will lose the ksuba, the rights to, the marital rights, that what happens when a marriage dissolves. So if the husband refuses to make aliyah, he has to pay, and it leads to divorce, he has to pay the entire ksuba. And if it's the wife that refuses to make aliyah, she then loses the rights to collect her ksuba. Again, Shulchan Aruch, Even HaEzer, Ayin Hey, Siman Ayin Hey, Sif Daled. V'shuv lamanu al godel ha-mitzvah, shebechol makam hadrachas hatorah hisametz lishmar shalom bayis. Now again, we could look at halachas cut and dry, but we also have to look at real life, and we have to look at what we call menschlichkeit, or perhaps the fifth chelik of Shulchan Aruch, the fifth portion. I'll tell you a little secret, there are only 4 books what we call the fifth chelik, the fifth section, is what we call common sense. But it's very hard to teach common sense. But in any sense, when we have Torah guidance, we always want to make sure that we work our hardest to maintain, to upkeep, and to support Shalom Bayit, peace within the home, peace in the marriage. Aval ka'asher Shalom Habayis bisnagesh mitzvahs Yishuv haaretz, mitzvahs Yishuv haaretz adifa. But if those two values clash with one another, then the mitzvah of settling the land of Israel will actually override the mitzvah of Shalom Bayit. Now, I don't recommend that people should start divorcing their spouses because they want to move to Israel. It should be a decision that's made together, should be one that's made bishalom, b'shalva, u'sheket. But if it does come to a point where one so urgently wants to go and the other does not, well, then we have bigger fish to fry and there are greater issues, but the halacha does deal with that. Let's hope that none of us comes to that point, but the whole idea that we're trying to express through these halachas of these few days is the importance of the mitzvah of settling and living in the land of Israel. So we finish a Tuesday, Patmayim Kitov. Please continue davening for the Chayalim and IDF, for Shalom L'chol Yisrael, a safe return of all the hostages. Get another shout out to our group from our shul and our community visiting Israel this week. Hope you all have a great day. See you here next time.